I had in my head already that I was going to shit on this movie. I already had it formatted out. My intro, my rant. Of course, I needed to watch the movie to know what I was going to rant about. But I was prepared for my rant. I was prepared for my epic rant to shit on this movie. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you how I planned my intro being. You know, all my years of reviews, the slanderings, the rants, it was never personal. But I gotta say, I'm gonna enjoy what I do to this pathetic, disgusting film very, very much. I was about to get my Thanos on, and now I can't do that. Damn it. Dark Phoenix, the 10th, is it the 10th installment of the X-Men franchise? I can't remember. There's a lot of X-Men movies. Did I love this movie? No. Did I really like this movie? No. Did I somewhat enjoy this movie? Yeah. I was expecting to really shit on this movie. I had such low expectations. I heard the whispers of what everybody was saying, how this movie is bullshit, is garbage, it's whatever. I went into this movie, I was lusting to just really hate it and to really shit on it, and I can make my own rant video. And I can't do that. I can't rant on this movie because it's not that bad. At the same time, it's not really that good. This movie is plagued with problems, but to me, I thought there was enough enjoyment in this to where I was like, you know what? I think I can enjoy this. I can turn off my brain and say, okay, I remember how good the X-Men movies were, some of them. I can't compare this to the other X-Men movies. I'm just going to take this movie for what it is. And I find myself somewhat enjoying it. So the plot of this is that the X-Men have to team up once again, fly into space, save these astronauts from getting killed by this solar flare. Jean Grey gets in the mix. She absorbs these powers, and now she's the almighty Dark Phoenix, the most powerful force in the universe. Sophie Turner, I thought, did a great job as Jean Grey Dark Phoenix. I thought that she really captured the character really well. I really bought her conflict on dealing with these new powers and dealing with her love for Scott and just everything that she was going through. I felt for her character. I thought there was real sympathy for her character and at the same time fear, because when she does go full of Dark Phoenix, she gets a little scary. James McAvoy is always as good as Charles Xavier. Michael Fassbender is always as good as Magneto. Nicholas Hoult is Beast. Jennifer Lawrence, oh man. I never really thought she was a good Mystique. I thought she was okay in First Class. Days of Future Past, I was like, all right, I can kind of stomach her. Apocalypse, no. When the hell, how the hell did Mystique, who was Magneto's henchman in the 90s cartoon, who was a villain in the comic books, how the hell did she become the face of the X-Men? You got Storm, you got Cyclops, you got Wolverine, Colossus, Nightcrawler. You have all these iconic X-Men characters. You make Mystique the face of the franchise, and that's where it really went to shit for me. I forgot to mention how horrible the costumes were, too. Those costumes was fucking atrocious, man. Horrible. I like the black leather ones in the first few movies, man, over that shit. Also forgot to mention Wolverine. Wolverine's presence, Hugh Jackman's presence, is definitely missing in this movie. Storm and Cyclops have no leadership in this movie. Cyclops is nothing more than Jean Grey's lapdog. Storm serves her purpose somewhat, and there's a moment where she does kind of come into her own. But Storm, I don't know, man. This was an X-Men movie, but then it wasn't. This was almost like a B X-Men movie. This is almost like the B side. You know what I mean? But still in all, with the problems that this movie had, I found myself enjoying this more than Apocalypse. I enjoyed this more than X-Men Origins Wolverine, The Wolverine, and definitely The Last Stand. I'll put it over all those movies. I will give the first X-Men the slight edge over this movie just because it was the first, it was the OG. But still, to me, Days of Future Past, First Class, and X2 are the best X-Men movies. I don't think those are going to be topped anytime soon. But Dark Phoenix, I thought, was a good installment to the franchise. To me, I think that this movie is the Logan of the X-Men movies. it's kind of smaller. When you think of the X-Men movies, there's always like this big spectacle of shit going on where they just throw a bunch of shit at the screen and all these. And yeah, there's an abundance of CG in this movie, but this just feels like a smaller scale story. This feels more of a character story about Jean Grey and Dark Phoenix, and also even James McAvoy's Charles Xavier, because he's dealing with some shit where it's like he thought he was doing good this whole time, where he has to question himself like, damn, you know, have I made a mistake? So there's a lot of inner turmoil between the X-Men, a lot of family quarrel shit going on. And I really dug that about this movie. You know, something that we really didn't get in the other ones, where it was all about the special effects and showing the powers and everything. Where in this one, I felt this one kind of had a story. Not the best story in the world, but for some reason, I bought it. For some reason, I found myself invested in some of these characters, not all of them. I found myself invested in some of these characters, and I thought the movie wasn't that bad. I did say that this was the Logan of the X-Men movies, and because it's really dark. It's dark in tone, and it's dark in even the look of the film. Like, there were some scenes that were just so dark where I'm like, I couldn't make out what was going on. And there's a cool action sequence when they're on a train, and when I say that shit was like, I was like in my seat like this, like, damn. But almost like the Battle of Winterfell, it was hard to see what was going on. It was hard to make out what was happening, you know what I mean? But other than that, I thought it was a really cool scene, and I really dig the score. I thought the score really matched the tone of the movie. And I don't know, man. Like, I know a lot of people are gonna shit on this movie, and I'm pretty sure some will watch my review and be like, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know shit about movies, motherfucker. I get that. Me personally, I thought it was alright. Okay, not the best X-Men movie, but definitely not the worst. I could watch this over Apocalypse any day, twice on Sunday. When that first X-Men came out in 2000, that was like the first mainstream Marvel property to get like the big screen treatment. Yeah, we've got Blade before that, but Blade wasn't a well-known character. Everybody knows the X-Men. When the X-Men got the big screen treatment, that was a big deal, and it kicked off everything up into what we have now. This movie right here would not exist if that X-Men movie was a flop. This would not have existed. So the X-Men are like the godfathers, you know, the grandfathers of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because they kicked everything off from Marvel. So yeah, you would like to see it end with a bang. This is probably one of the worst finales of a popular franchise. But all in all, man, just for, you know, what everybody's saying about how bad this movie was, I can't shit on this movie all the way. I thought it was really enjoyable. But as far as wrapping up the X-Men, yeah, it definitely is a little underwhelming. So I'm going to give Dark Phoenix a C. I think that's a fair grade. I thought that everybody in this movie, you know, tried their best to make a really good film, and I applaud them for that. So y'all, that's my grade, a C. What are your thoughts on Dark Phoenix? Have you seen it yet? Comment what you think about it below. What's your favorite X-Men movie? Comment all that shit, and make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Please hit the like and subscribe. I'm going to say it again. Hit that like and subscribe. It'll help my channel out tremendously. It doesn't cost you a dime. Just hit like and then tap the bell to get notifications when a new video drops. I appreciate y'all. This is Rashad G signing out. See you in the next video.